But we're not talking about just regular basketball. We're talking about street ball. Street ball will be played today. And coming into the court right now.
Women started playing basketball in 1892, 1 year after basketball was created. The first basketball team was organized by Senda Barrison at Smith College. They played their first game in 1893, and no men were allowed to attend. After that, the school opened up to women's basketball, and some other schools followed, but not all. In 1904, women of color were also allowed to join. In 1923, the women's division of the National Amateur Athletic Federation held its first conference. In 1924, women were entered into the Olympic basketball tournament. In 1940, during World War II, competitive and recreational basketball was common. Relocation centers for Japanese Americans, for instance, included regularly scheduled women's basketball games.
In 1972, the Title IX enacted, requiring federally funded schools to fund women's sports equitably, including teams, scholarships, recruitment, and media coverage. The Association for Intercollegiate Athletics for Women, AIAW, held the first national intercollegiate championship in basketball. In 1979, WBL expanded to 14 teams. In 1981, the first NCAA Women's Basketball Final Four Championship was held. In 2006, the WNBA celebrated its 10th year by announcing an all-decade team selected by fans, media, and current players and coaches.
Earlier, sports were seen as inherently more dangerous for females because they might affect menstruation. Physical activity was viewed negatively. It ultimately was perceived as having a harmful effect on the all-important role of motherhood. The Journal of the American Medical Association promoted this idea in 1925 when an article implied that young girls in this age of feminine freedom were overdoing athletics. The other major health concern had to do with psychological effects of physical activity. Many people felt that the emotional strain of physical leisure experiences would be injurious to the mental well-being of women.
Today, both male and females participate in some sports, but a gender difference is evident in terms of number of participants and numbers of highly competitive or professional athletes. Although some stereotypes are breaking down with respect to girls' and women's sports participation, perceptions of female sports and male sports are based on how appropriate such activities are thought to be for each gender. The research also shows that women have somewhat higher levels of participation in social and cultural activities. The data on sports and cultural activities give us an overall picture of male and female participation, but they also hide many of the complex differences that exist both between men and women and among women of different ages, ethnic backgrounds, or socioeconomic levels.
This activity fit into traditional ideas of leisure for the male gender because, according to history, men were more active than women due to women taking care of household chores, family, and etc. With our experience of playing basketball, we feel it can be related to the liberal feminism because although women do play this sport now, it is still predominantly male, and liberal feminists stress contemporary focus on gender justice. We also notice that the media does not put as much hype on the WNBA as it does on the NBA, nor does it spend as much money on the women as they do to the men.
Here are some videos of us playing basketball. We had not participated in this activity before because it was never something that really interested us. We felt embarrassed to play because there were always other males playing on the court. This was a constraint we felt because we were not good at shooting or dribbling.
This activity was challenging because it caused us to do something we hadn't done before and to try something new. As we were playing basketball, we thought